Jim, it's no April Fool's joke. Morgan Williams' clutch shot snapped UConn's 111-game win streak, reset it back to 0, and MSU made history. Here's a look back at a game for the ages. The Rebels are one win away from a trip to the world's most famous sports arena, Madison Square Garden, and one of the men that will be calling the game tonight on ESPN2 is the coach, Fran Fraschilla. 76-year-old Bob Bruce died last night in Clinton. Bruce was a fixture at Ole Miss men's and women's basketball games and became a legend for dancing like this every time the band started playing. Rest in peace, my friend. Wow. That's Ole Miss Chancellor Jeff Vitter. The official word came from Ole Miss at 6:45. This afternoon, Hugh Freeze submitted his resignation as Ole Miss's head football coach. I asked Steve Robertson what he would tell people who blame him for bringing down Hugh Freeze. There's a school of thought that maintains if Ole Miss had just apologized to Houston Nutt, Hugh Freeze would still have a job. With the complete benefit of hindsight, Ole Miss Athletic Director Ross Bjork wouldn't say that on the record. Is it tough to see a defensive coordinator go to a conference rival?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like anybody leaving for like what I would view, lateral moves, to be perfectly honest with you. So.
Whoa, Nelly. That was Dan Mullen back in 2014 after then MSU defensive coordinator Jeff Collins accepted the same position at Florida. It would appear Mullen has changed his tune on the University of Florida. Florida made Mullen an offer he couldn't refuse. There were your classic muscle-bound bodybuilders and the leaner physique models. And a big congratulations to our own John DeLusick once again. John dominated the over 50 Weatherman division. Just look at that impressive physique. Dirty Blonde's in control of the match, but Final Hour turns the tables and scores a double pin. There's a look at sports. We're back after
I'll give you
this.
Good weather. I'll give you good weather. Okay. Oh.
It was called the money fight. Both guys made a lot of money, and I thought the fans at home got their money's worth. Grady, what were your initial thoughts of the fight? Welcome into the Sunday Sports Wrap. I'm Andy Lee. Lately, it seems like we can't escape bad or tragic news. Tonight, I have a story that will remind you all of the good in humanity. Powerlifting. That word conjures up images of men with Herculean strength lifting obscene amounts of weight. Drake West doesn't fit that image. This 21-year-old from Amory refuses to be solely defined by his physical condition.
I have cerebral palsy. Mentally, it really doesn't do anything to me. Physically, I cannot walk, and I only have one good side, and it's my left side.
4 years ago, a chance encounter at a popular store piqued Drake's curiosity.
I went to Walmart one day, and I was like, I seen this big guy at the paint counter, and I said, I want to be like him one day.
That man is Joe Morrow, a local bodybuilder who encouraged Drake to get into the gym and now serves as his trainer. Morrow couldn't make this competition at Premier Athletics in Tupelo, but there is always someone willing to go the extra mile for Drake. On this day, friend and fellow powerlifter Eric Whitfield stepped up to the plate.
Known Drake for 4 years. Very unique guy. He's a person that's a living proof that, the only limitations are the limitations we place upon ourselves.
Before each lift, Drake and Whitfield have an intense ritual that begins with a dusting of chalk to dry off Drake's powerful left hand. Eric then wraps Drake's left wrist so tight that the circulation to his hand is nearly cut off. Drake must then be lifted onto the bench. Now it's go time. Drake is attempting a personal best bench press of 45 pounds. He clears it with ease, and the crowd goes wild. But it hasn't always been like this, especially when he first started.
I've heard it all, man. I've heard, oh, you're going to get hurt. I don't want to see you up under this kind of weight. What did the doctor say about this? That doesn't cross my mind when I'm up under the weight. All I'm worried about is doing what I'm told. And doing the attempt that I'm attempting.
That mindset has worked well for Drake. At this American Powerlifting Association sanctioned event, he benched 45 pounds and deadlifted another 65 for a total of 110 pounds. He weighs just 90 pounds.
It's nothing impressive. It will never be because of one hand, and people with both hands can do a lot more.
Drake's right in one regard. On paper, his numbers will never catch your attention, but watching him in action certainly will. Ray Williams, the ICC assistant football coach, who has shattered powerlifting records worldwide, sees it differently.
I just think it's awesome that a kid pretty much is born to the circumstances that he is, and he still, you know, beats the odds and still gets to the gym, still trains, still works his tail off, and is actually able to break world records and compete.
There is one sad note to Drake's inspirational story. His dedication earned him an invite to October's World Powerlifting Association Championships in Portland, Oregon, in the Paralympian division. Unfortunately, he currently lacks the funds to make the trip. He has set up a GoFundMe account to help with expenses. If you'd like to help, you can find the account at GoFundMe.com. Type in the search Drake West Goes to Worlds. You can also contact him on his Facebook page, Drake West Powerlifter. In July, we introduced you to Drake West, an inspirational young man from Amory. This 21-year-old refuses to be defined solely by what he can't do. Drake has become a motivational figure in the local powerlifting community. When we ran the story in July, he had already qualified for next week's American Powerlifting Association World Championships in Portland, Oregon, but he didn't have the funds to make the trip. The key word there is didn't. The people of North Mississippi came through in a big way. Drake received enough money through donations to pay for the trip to Oregon. He leaves on Thursday and will compete on Saturday. I caught up with Drake yesterday, and he has a message for everyone who helped him realize his dream.
Man, I just want to tell you thank you. Without you guys, this would not be possible. And if I cannot give you $1 back, I want to give you all the motivation that it will take you to live the rest of your life.
Best of luck to Drake and safe travels. If you want to keep up with him on his journey, you can follow him on Twitter at DrakeWest931 or look for the Mississippi Motivator on Instagram.